Hey guys, how are you? Capricorn King here again, coming at you with the knowledge and the intention of propagating that in order for you to synthesize for you, in order for that to be auspicious within your own life, so you can implement whatever is cultivated here on this channel into your own life, so you can steer the ship and not have it steered for you. It's time to regain our sovereignty. Right guys, I'm a little tired today, but it's rolling now, it's happening, it's basically happening. So yeah, today's clip is on the subject matter of why being creative enables access to higher realms. Why does it? Well, let me tell you. Here we go. You what, Tony? Oh, I'm just kidding. Tony just is one of them that just hovers around. His presence is known. I'm kidding, guys. Just joking. We're allowed to be facetious, you know. You're allowed to smile. You are. Oh, wait, no. You guys are preserving an identity. Forgot about that. I'm just kidding. Okay, so yeah, my first point on this topic would be you are, through being creative, accessing higher realms because you are exploiting your inner resources through your own volition, right? You are exploiting that within yourself to be advantageous for you, right? The focal point of the whole cosmos expressing itself, right? You are exploiting that ingenuity, that innate qualitative ingenuity within yourself, right? And that is an expression of God and what God is. And I'm speaking of God in terms of a capital G, right? Not gods with an S, plural, which implies in itself that there's an intervention there by some kind of interdimensional beings from other star systems that want to exploit humanity for their resources as a form of sustenance. But that will be another clip. I have a tendency and a proclivity to go off tangent. But anyways, so yeah, that's my first point. Using your own and exploiting your own ingenuity that is within you, that you are born with, that you transition through this fractalized wave of this phase of what God is experiencing through itself to know more about itself. You come with your own innovative qualities that you need to reflect on and go introspective for the recognition of this to be re-invoked, so then that can become your life basically. My second one, why it helps access higher realms, being creative, right? That's what this topic is, right guys? Is it? Tony? No, leave him. Is not really receptive enough quite today. His presence is not as potent. Anyways, so yeah, you won't be subject to external things. You won't externalize what you are within yourself. You won't substitute that in exchange for what you are within yourself, and you won't be under exogenous influence, which means things being externally instilled through all these methodologies that the government and whatever all they use. The government's just an ideology. It's us that preserve it amongst and between ourselves. But it was initiated by some beings, just like we are a form of an entity, a being within itself. There's just variations of different frequencies of that, and some of them are vampiric. And I will do a clip on this, on the variations of different beings, what we're here on this planet Earth, plane of inertia, a magnetic toroidal kind of field that we are transmitted through, that is being used at the moment by other beings. And unfortunately we're all under subjugation of that collectively, but it's all through thought forms. And the ego is its own kind of perpetual, low, dense, stagnant kind of energetic field that we seem to get captivated by and encapsulated in. Very subsuming. I've done a clip on the ego more intricately, but everything correlates, you know. It's all ties in with its in and of itself. So don't substitute your sovereignty. Basically, you are a sovereign divine being within yourself, and we're all reflecting that through fractal parts of what we are. And the main thing here is to infuse that, like collectively infuse it, so we all kind of coalesce into one congruent flow. That is why us beings are here, to propagate this knowledge. Some of us came here to do this. We just don't realize now we're subject to the captivity of the mind and the ego, and the disassociation of the hemispheres of the brain, creating an erratic state. We sometimes forget because we're becoming less of a conduit to the higher realms, and being creative, it also induces the convergence of this. Anyways, the third point, being creative enables one to be more present within themselves. So it enables you to be more of in a state of presence. The presence of now is where everything resides, within now. The novelty of now is ever pervasive. It's an on and off fluctuation, and each moment is a brand new initiation of a new beginning. Each flicker of this infinitesimal flicker is what you are. Your eyes blink. Each time your eyes blink, your heart's beat. Another second has gone, another new version of you is here. Everything's on a cellular level is always metamorphosizing. It just seems because of the mind and the hemispheres, if they're not like conjugal, which means they're not married and connected, it knocks us off, and things seem like they're happening on an incremental lineage basis, but that is elusive. So when you're creative, it enables you to be more present, which then you start to recognize the sovereignty of what you are, a sovereign, divine, powerful, sublime being. And you're nothing other than that. Don't settle for less, because if you settle for less, you're in a state of lack. Lack is what you will attract. So, the third point about being present. Once you are present, you take that everywhere with you. That starts to permeate. The presence of the novelty of now starts to ricochet, and it ripples out, and then you start to see that everything is all in the now. Be here now. Once you're here now, the mind is not in a kind of erratic multi-tangent state of being, which is a derivative of the ego, the intervention of thought, which correlates to the ego, which creates frictional resistance. You're resisting to what you actually just are, the being of what you are. And being creative enables you to go to the reversion back to the heart, which is just the center of being, which is where everything spawns from. So be back there, be that, be the now. The now is everything. And you'll realize this. that each moment is what everything is doing, and the mind tries to be interventional, and it's like self-induced occlusion to what could be. You're occluding it, you're blocking your creativity and the flow of the conduit of the potency of what you actually are, which alleviates and attenuates suffering. To be a conduit attenuates suffering, it's an effect of it. You are occluding that within yourself from thinking that you, through the ego and the mind, can modify your experience. You are not the one that's doing this. It's a happening. It happens involuntarily. So we're getting our own way. We're getting our own way. I've been down many paths, and I'm also going to do a video about this. Each path that I have been down and experienced within my life as reflected within me, that I'm just getting in my own way. The Hare Krishna, doing the chanting, reading the Bhagavad Gita every morning, following the Sufi or Muslim way, doing the chanting, doing the all this derives from words, and words are what we're under subjugation of neurally. Words can constrict you, not expand you. It depends how you use the words. But words, and that's another clip, create worlds, because words are vibration, toroidal fields. They can encapsulate you. They can create an arc. That's what archetypes are, personifications of the ego, which is an effect of four, which is an effect which the words influence. So you got to be careful. I'm using words now, but the transmissions of the heart and through love to help alleviate people, because that's what I'm here for. Do you want to make your life more auspicious? Okay, then you've found the right channel, because this is what I'm here for. Through love. This is all through love. You can see that in the eyes. It's honest. I'm not trying to get anything out of you guys. I'm not selling anything. I'm reflecting within you what you are. You're in a powerful state of being, and that's what these clips are for. Anyways, you are beautiful. You are divine. Remember this. Remember is to remember. Remember. To recognize that you're a member of the whole universe. Uni, one. Singularity, verse. Each unique point of attention is expressing itself through this apertoire of what this is in this particular realm as an divine expression of what God is, and that's what you are. Anyways, my fourth point, this will be the last and final point. This is quite a short clip, but it's quite concise, and I think I've crammed a lot within a short space of time, in a sufficient amount anyway, to have an influential positive effect on you. Well, not positive, again, positive, negative, that's dualism. There is no positive and negative. You extract from the negative to know what the positive is, and they go hand in hand basically, but there's no good or bad. That's an interpretation of a filter of the ego again. But anyways, the fourth point, so I can finish this video. You're reflecting a projection of what it is to actually be God when you are creative, which enables access to the higher realms. You're basically mirroring that, not from the ego, but you are mirroring something that is much more sublime, implicit within yourself. You are directly reflecting that when you are creative, which is enabling you to remember more of what you are, not what you've been told that you are, which is a conceptualized, rigid framework in which you are trying to hold on to something that you might be, which again constricts your state of being and doesn't enable you to let go and just be. So that's the fourth point, and that's the finalized point. This is a short clip. If you like this channel, subscribe, like the video. You don't have to, you're not under my dominion. I am just here to share what you are too, and I am an experience in your mind. This is God talking to itself through the whole self. It's just an illusion. Anyways, I'm out of here, guys. Thank you for listening. Remember what you are just love. Revert back to that state of love, and you will remember again to remember with the whole of what you are. Thank you, guys. I love you all, genuinely, sincerely. Thank you.